Hey, what's going on? This is Jordan Harris, your favorite host in the entire world. So, in my last video, I made a statement saying, like, let's just address the elephant in the room. I'm obviously not in the typical area that I usually do my videos in. Usually, I've got a big TV over here, I've got a microphone in front. So, obviously, I'm not there, and I told you I was going to make a video explaining what's going on. So, take you back last year, towards the end of last year, my wife and I found out that we were having another child, having our fourth child. Huge blessing, obviously. And if you've been blessed enough to have kids, you've most likely gone through the whole process, going through the doctor's appointments and going through the sonograms. So our second sonogram, uh, you know, per usual, we went there, we left, everything's fine. But then we ended up getting a phone call from the doctor a few weeks later saying that the baby had a cyst on her neck. So we were like, okay, don't know what that means. I come from a pretty big family and we've never dealt with anything like that, never heard of anything like that. So I was just like, okay, whatever. Didn't think much of it. So we ended up going to the doctor again because they wanted us to come in and meet with them. A couple weeks later, maybe the next week, we went and met the doctor again, and she explained that the cyst on the neck could be a pretty serious thing. She said that maybe it could mean something called Turner syndrome or something Down syndrome. I'm sure you've all heard of that. So they're going to do some more tests just to figure out what it could mean. So she ended up doing some tests. And she was like, well, it does look, I want to do another test to see if that cyst, if it disappeared and maybe it was just a blip on the radar or if it really is a problem. She was like, the cyst is still there. So I'm going to send you to Children's Mercy Hospital in Kansas City, Missouri, because they have experience dealing with children in the womb, outside the womb, up to 18 years old, whatever it may be. They're specialists in children with serious issues. So we were like, okay, it started to get a little more real, but once again, I come from a big family, cousins, aunts, uncles, brother and sister, never dealt with any type of sickness with kids before, so it was one of those things where I was so ignorant to the situation that I was like, oh, okay, whatever. So we ended up going to Children's Mercy Hospital, and they did a bunch of tests, and found out that our baby had half of a heart. So if you know anything about hearts, it actually has two parts to it, two main parts. One part of the heart brings blood in, the other part pumps blood out. So one half of her heart just didn't develop at all. So that was a huge problem, obviously. So we've taken the baby, we've had to come to Children's Mercy Hospital. I guess it was like every 3 weeks or something like that, from Wichita, Kansas up to Missouri to do these appointments to see how the baby was progressing. The baby grew normally, not normally, the baby continued to grow per usual. And then we ended up moving here to Missouri in June. So I think it was like June 15th when we moved here to Missouri, temporarily, because I still have all my businesses that I own in Wichita, so we can't permanently move here. But ended up moving here temporarily. I think it was June 15th. And tomorrow will be September 1st. So we've been here for a few months. Thankfully, we ended up having our child. She was born at the end of June, so June 26th, we ended up having our child. Her name is Lily. She still does have half of a heart. She has to have 3 different surgeries. It doesn't fix the heart, but it does make her able to live. If she did not have the first surgery, she wouldn't have lived a week. So we had to have surgery, obviously, had the one heart surgery, and then we plan on having the second one in December, and then the third one is supposed to be sometime when she's maybe 7 or 8 years old, depending on how she's growing. So if you were wondering where I've been here at the Ronald McDonald House, which is in Kansas City, Missouri, and Children's Mercy Hospital, where our daughter still is. So every day I go to the Children's Mercy Hospital and stay with our 2-month-old. She's 8 weeks now. I sit with her for a while, and then I come back to the Ronald McDonald House, which has been the biggest blessing ever because they let you stay here for free. So we've been living here for a couple months now. My kids are here, my other three kids, and then my mom, my wife, and then my mother-in-law. We all been living here for a couple months. Just surviving, waiting on her to pass all the tests that she's supposed to pass so we can hopefully go home. The plan is for us to go home sometime towards the middle or maybe towards the end of September. That's the goal. So we'll continue doing that. But I just wasn't in the mental, I didn't have the mental capacity. I wasn't in the mental state to be making videos about about college football, about the Miami Hurricanes, about any of that stuff. As you all know, it's really hard to run businesses, but imagine running a business or running 6 businesses while your daughter's on life support, paralyzed. You know what I'm saying? So it's been a really difficult time, but thankfully things are progressing as well as they can progress. And once again, we're going to be praying that we'll be able to go back home in September. So that's all that I got for you today. I figured I'd give you a little insight on why I disappeared off the face of the earth. I appreciate everybody's thoughts and concerns. I appreciate your prayers. That's all that I got for you today. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and I truly appreciate that. Take care. God bless. Peace.